And it is 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And it is time for Archeage with Jalan, with the shelf built behind me. I finally have my bric-a-brac stuff up. So it is a good time indeed. Ah, I can't believe it's middle of the week already. Where are you going? What are you doing? Let me tell you guys. Let me tell you. Playing a couple of different games at one time. Little taxing on you. I currently am playing. Wow, that was pretty sad among other things. There's a whole sea of fucking reds. But currently playing Final Fantasy 14 again, and I'm playing Archeage. I'm not really playing Archeage. I don't want to lie. I'm not really playing Archeage. I stream Archeage. That's, you guys like it. I don't really know if I want to stream Final Fantasy 14. I don't know if I want to just have that as my game that I play. But I have to say, kind of bummed out with the changes to my class coming. There's no same dude, same try. Still sucks. I mean, really? See, that's all the here. I mean, first of all, I want to jump into that. All the people who bitch that you can't kill a healer, that guy actually did it right. I mean, that guy actually did some serious meaty damage to me before. I mean, he couldn't complete it because he doesn't have the punch. He's 8,800 gear score. He doesn't have the punch to finish the job. But I mean, he definitely did a little bit of damage before I was able to get back up. But anybody, all the time when people say, "Oh, you gotta nerf healers because I can't kill a healer," well, what the hell? A guy who under gear scores me by 4K just chunked me. So clearly, melee, you're trying to roll your face across the keyboard. Not saying you don't have to make a change, because our poor archer friends out there, they are still radically underpowered, especially versus plate. But definitely this whiny nature of Archeage melee players. I can't kill a healer. Well, learn your class. Clearly that guy knows his class. Oh, not what I wanted to do. But I will say, definite noticeable difference between Archeage and Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 14 is way more new player friendly. Definitely way more new player friendly. Besides, healers don't pocket heal. Healers have pocket DPS. But I want to stay away from all the bullshit because I don't want to crash tonight. But the good news is, in other news, before we get started with the meat of today's show, I have found 2 of the things I wanted to give to Frost. The problem is now is I'm digging deep into alts now. Digging deep to have to find which alts I threw the last one on. He wants the reforge, the salvage forges, and I have them. And I'm pretty much winding down on Archeage as a primary game, at least on J. I would definitely consider coming back to a fresh start, but not really gonna consider coming back. I'm not gonna re-roll my gear, and I think the 30% healer nerf is just gonna be too much to swallow. You know, I would definitely consider coming back for a fresh start, but I'm gonna be honest. Honestly, I had my couple of years of having fun with open world PvP, and I'm kind of past it now. For the time being, I don't want to really jump into bullshit, meaningless conflict when Ashes of Creation is going to be all about conflict. I'm actually having a lot of fun with Final Fantasy 14. So for the time being, I don't need that PvP. I don't need that PvP. That PvP rush. I definitely get it though. I definitely understand. Going to a game that has very limited PvP, you're like, occasionally you get that, I want to go PvP feeling, but there's no PvP to really be had. I mean, there's a couple of bits and pieces. Square Enix did a good job of adding in some PvP, both originally with the Wolf's Den and then the Frontlines. They did a good job of providing. Some PvP content. You would try Final Fantasy 14 just too invested in Archeage to quit unless it's gonna go to something horribly wrong. Well, yeah, you know, I get that, and that's one of the things I tried to explain to people. Like, one guy today was saying that he was trying to get somebody to come over to Final Fantasy 14, and I do what I always do. I have my free company over there. I have my guild. I'm not really, you know, I get it. People are spread out. You know, I came to Archeage from Final Fantasy 14. That's where I was before I came to Archeage. I think at the time I wanted more open world combat is really what I was looking for, and that's why I came to Archeage. And now I don't, just this point in my life, I just want to enjoy, kick back, relax. And now that they've added some, I mean, they've added some hella great content. Plus, like I said, it's new player friendly. So, like, really, a lot of companies should be studying the games that are successful and benchmarking those things. Like, Square Enix gave a road to 60, path to 60. So you get a massive XP bonus to get you to 60. Shit, I'm not even in the level 60 content, and I'm already 63. So it does kind of suck because you over level everything. But they do level syncing. So when it comes time to do some content, they're like, yeah, you can be level 63, but we're gonna knock you down to 50. So I think they've done that well. I do want to give XL Games their due credit though. In the year, it's been a year and it's been a year and 5 months since Jake's song went back to XL. Well, he was back a little bit sooner, but his first major announcement of I'm back and I'm running this shit was January-ish 2018. Might have been December 2017. But his big statement of I'm back and I'm in charge and I'm in the chair and I'm driving this, I think was right around December 17, January 18. And he, you know, he made a lot of changes. I don't necessarily think they were all good. I do not think that they were all good changes, but clearly some things needed to change. Again, I'm not saying that. I think Hiram Gear was brilliant. I think removing Obsidian, even though I use Obsidian, I think removing Obsidian was the right decision. I don't think the conversion rate for the higher level and higher grade Obsidian was right. I don't think that Obsidian gear should have been able to straight turn into Aranor infusions. I disagree with those things. I think a lot of those bits and pieces caused some unbalance. But you know, they basically took your gear away and they said we're gonna give you adequately compensated gear. That's my big thing right now, though, for why a fresh start server would serve the community really well, assuming they could get it to work. All right, because people are telling me these stories about what's going on with Europe right now, and apparently Europe's down like all the time. So here's the big problem, Frost, and here's one of the big problems. And I see Wolfus Moon popped in. Here's one of the big problems they have. If you know that the healer nerf is coming, right? You know the healer nerf is coming. Where the hell are you gonna get any? Where the hell are you gonna get any healers? Because if you know that you're going to a server, say they got to 5-5, all the changes, and then they put the healer nerf in, or they put the fresh start server in. Do you think anybody's actually going to want to roll healer on the new server, knowing that their shit is completely fucked? I mean, you're gonna have a handful of archers, you're gonna have a handful of mages, and everybody's gonna play melee. Because melee is too easy to build, and it's too easy to counter everything else. Now, I know that they're saying that they're coming out with a plate nerf, which is fine. I've said since the very beginning, the game was built wrong. The balance was wrong from day one. It should have always been 84%, 16%, 50-50, 16-84, with your physical to magic defense split. Plate should have always had magic defense on it. Let's see. They're having trouble with the EU server. Yeah, they're having problems, and they're having two types of problems. Well, they're having three types of problems. Number one, they're having problems with the hardware. If you're having problems with the hardware, you're shit out of luck. You're up shit's creek, right? If you're having a problem with the physical hardware, and it's the hardware on the other side of it can be the other side of the world, it can be the other side of the country. They don't maintain their own servers. They run their servers out of a server farm. So, you know, until Bob, the technician, changes out the hard drive, changes out the server, until he does those things, you're fucked anyway. There's nothing you can do. Then when he does those things, the team has to do some bits and pieces. Okay? So those things got to get done. And then the other problem they're having is they're having a little bit of an integrity problem. Now, I'm going to be honest. The individual... Oh, I'm using default mode. Right at reset every day I crash. I'll go out of it when I'm done with the the rodeo of dailies. Because if I crash, then it takes... I'm one of the lucky people who Archeage lags for like 10 to 15 seconds when I load, and then once I do that, it starts to cause more and more stream delay. I don't know what is up. A couple of people have this problem, and then everybody else is like, dude, your life sucks. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's complete bullshit. I never had this problem before I quit. I only had this problem after I came back. Literally, I get 3 words of the poem loaded, and then my whole system locks up. Have I tried VPN? No, that has nothing to do with it, because it's not... I don't give a fuck if I crash. The crashing is going to happen due to their potato servers. The issue is the loading of the client, not the connection. Because it only does it on this machine. The other machines in the house with Archeage on it, it doesn't do. I mean, I know other people have had this problem. I tried a Windows reinstall just to try to put everything in clean. My Windows had gotten... There we go. I saw that pop in. Stream Elements is using its crystal ball again. But no, I mean, I've seen other people have the problem, and a couple of bits and pieces, like deleting your shaders folder can help fix it. There's a couple other bits and pieces that can help fix it. None of it helps fix it, so it sucks. But it is what it is. Plus, all in all, if I have to VPN to a server in Texas, we have problems. I mean, that shouldn't have to be the case. And if that's the case, then that would mean North American servers were fucked as well. But like I said, their integrity problem is I didn't follow the story with the EU servers because again, I play in North America. I log on to EU to make Apex. Sorry EU, I'm part of the American problem that ruins your economy. Dumbest shit I've ever heard of. I have no idea why they set the system up the way they did. The only reason why they set the system up the way they did is to make more money, honestly. I don't get the double region thing. I don't understand it at all. I think it's a dumb system. I think it trashes one of the economies. Well, I think it trashes both of the economies. Because you get free patron. You get free patron in the other region. So, makes absolutely no sense to me. But the European players say that their server's down all the time. So I went looking for, an explanation, right? And I can't really find a good one. And that's a thing that's starting to become pretty goddamn prevalent. And I blame the gamers for this. I don't blame gaming companies. I blame gamers for this. Nobody wants to vote with their wallet. You get treated like shit. You get treated like shit, and you still keep playing the game. That's what, like I said, when I was tired of Tryon Worlds, I left Archeage. Loved Archeage. Spent 6 months kind of in I don't have an MMO to play fog. I played Star Trek Online for a little bit. Really good game. Just I wasn't going to be able to make content for it. And then I was kind of resolved to play Ashes when Ashes came out. But with that being delayed and Archeage going over to Gamigo, I was like, yeah, I'll come back. I like Archeage. Archeage is pretty solid. But if the European community is that unhappy, they need to do something about it. And that something about it is stop playing. But nobody's like, well, I don't want to do that. Well, then does it really bother you that much? I mean, can't be that big. It can't be that big of a problem. You're still playing the game. I use the Diablo Immortal from BlizzCon example all the time. People are like, "Oh my god, I hate Blizzard and all their bullshit and everything they did, and I hate this company and blah blah blah." Same person. 3 minutes later, totally stoked for the Warcraft 3 remaster. Hey, you know that's done by the same company, right? Yeah, but it's a different game. What the fuck? Are you serious right now? Then then the company doesn't bother you that much. You want them to fix a game and the answer is to stop playing it. Yeah, I want them to fix the game. The method to getting them to fix the game would be to stop spending money on it. Because you vote with your wallet. You vote with your wallet. If you keep playing, then it doesn't bother you that much. My response was I could no longer handle the lack of integrity from Tryon Worlds. So I stopped playing. I didn't come back until after it was no longer Tryon Worlds. Now, Archeage got a lot better with the latest patch. For most classes, yes. For archers got brought up a bit. Healers are gonna get knocked down a bit. Everything else, patch is pretty good. What are we talking? The 4.something7 patch, 4.7 somewhere in and around there, fixed the gear problem. So that was a good one. Repeat the part about archers. Archers got brought up a little bit. Archers have a great... Stalker's Mark is a great ability. Stalker's Mark is an absolutely great ability. You know... I don't think people realize how damn good... I don't think people realize how damn good Stalker's Mark is. and I also don't think that they fully understand what Stalker's Mark is doing. When I saw what Stalker's Mark was doing the other day, I was like, wow, that's a huge change. Now I understand why Archer's going Def Pen instead of crit damage is so much more important than I previously thought. Because with you go Def Pen now versus plate, you're still not gonna be able to do shit versus plate because people like Kia have just this ridiculous amount of physical defense. But if you're talking against somebody not oh, where's my fuck up? If you're talking somebody not all the way over to the side, then like maxed out on physical defense, then you stack Def Pen. Once you apply Stalker's Mark, you've taken out 15% of their ranged mitigation, which is a pretty big chunk of it. Which is a pretty big chunk of what most people have. I mean, what am I without the buff? I have 21.4. Stalker's Mark would take that down to 6.4. It says 16. I think it's only 15. So that's pretty impressive. That's pretty good. Okay, there's one of them. There's two of them. I have no idea where the red one is. New skill tree like a mage class, I think. Yeah, there's a new skill tree. I mean, it's not new anymore. It's been out for a while. I have a video up on the Malediction skill tree. So it's not all it is it's all the abyssal stuff. It's all the abyssal skills. It's all the abyssal skills taken out of the individual trees and chucked together in its own tree. But kind of want to talk about the cash shop a little bit. Has it been out since 5.0? Yeah, I guess it was 5.0. So yeah, that was like October-ish. My big thing, part of tonight's show that I wanted to work on, is how profitable would a fresh start server be? And I wanna really get into some numbers. I like numbers. I like numbers a lot because it's hard to argue with numbers when you start saying like, well, it's not really going to be that profitable for Gamigo. Let's just start. We've done this once before on the show. We'll do it again. Now I know in an ideal world there wouldn't be a cash shop in an ideal world. Everything would be available for gold, and it would be a sub-only server. That's in an ideal world. You're never gonna see that. The cash shop is ingrained into the cash shop is ingrained. What the fuck is that? Cash shop is ingrained into this game. So I know what people want, but you're never gonna get it. How good is Malediction? It's pretty good. I mean, it's okay in a mage build. You generally want sorcery, malediction, and something. You don't want to try to run malediction as your primary skill tree. I mean, you can. I've seen some builds that do it. It's not as good as a Skull Knight because there's things that occultism brings that malediction obviously doesn't have, but it's still pretty good. I mean, it's pretty good. So Couple things I want to look at, and I'm probably going to get dropped into Hiram City while we're doing this, but multi-wagon tickets, right? This, and I want the, I want expansion scrolls. And I'm going to go with the usual price of expansion scrolls at 300, even though they're on discount. So, just those two things out the box are the two I want to talk about. Now, could Vitalism can still DPS? Yeah, and you can DPS better now because you have Ancestral Holy Bolt. You have the Flame Holy Bolt. So, yeah, you can do just fine. So if you want a maxed inventory, right? You need 10 expansion scrolls for each. You need 10 warehouse, 10 bags, so that's 20. So that's going to set you back 6,000 credits. And then here is your it was touch and go for a minute, but we got 200 refugees in Hiram City. Yeah, nice. Nice. I'm not going to be able to finish this. Yeah, 6,000. 6K if you want. You need 20 scrolls at 300. Yeah, 6,000. And then I'll do the I'll do the farm ticket one after this. But I mean, you're talking, if you did, again, I know people don't want to hear this. Oh, I got Snows. Hi, Snows. Up, Snows. You're gonna. I don't think that you can continue to sell Apex for the subscription and have healthy servers. You can sell Apex so that people can buy all the other crap they need off the auction house. But I don't think that you should. I don't think you should be able to pay for your subscription with Apex. I think it opens up way too many alts. It takes up way too much land. And I know people are like, well, I can't afford to buy. Well, then you shouldn't be playing video games. I don't want this shit. I don't want this shit. Yeah, Immortal title is OP. I have it. I farmed the shit out of it. I farmed the absolute shit out of the Naval Arena when we could just keep doing it, and then we got the double events, and then we had a triple event in there. And when we had the triple event, all I did was live in Blood Salt Bay. That's all I did. Yeah, give raid lead to the first guy who complains about no marks. No shit. Yeah, give raid lead to the guy that has his ult with him. I mean, the fuck. That's always fine. I don't particularly care. Like I said, I don't want to be raid lead while I'm trying to do this streaming, because obviously I like hanging out with you guys a lot more than I like running around a fucking map. But I run around a map because I'm expected to, and I need the infusions. And then, you know, give raid lead to the ult. I know, no shit. But you know, there's, like I said, I've been playing Final Fantasy XIV, and I'm really enjoying it because it's more laid back. There's things about the game that I prefer, and I'm a tank, Tamir is a healer, and we have a hell of a good time. Oh shit, I hate when I do that. We're having a hell of a fun time just chilling with each other. We haven't gamed together in like a year, a little over a year and a half maybe, because she doesn't She doesn't like Archeage, and then I left Revelation Online due to... I only went to Revelation Online for like world firsts and server firsts, and since they had so many hacks, cheats, and exploits, I was like, fuck this, I'm not playing this game. This is bullshit. So, what class does she? She plays Scholar, because we're still not into the level 50 content yet, so she can't get her Astrologian. She wants the Astrologian. I want the Dark Knight. But she's always played a Scholar. She's always loved it. But I'm gonna tell you, I know people don't like raid finders and auto grouping and looking for groups. But look at the success that Archeage has been having since they chucked one in. Like, I know people want to say that they don't like these features, okay? And I get that. But these are quality of life things. Now, if you don't have these quality of life things, are people going to straight quit your game? No, but you're not going to hold on to as many casuals. Casuals want their casual things. And if casuals don't get their casual things, they don't play. And it's just that simple. So when people are like, "Oh my God, Raid Finder makes it too easy," yeah. But what the fuck content in Archeage are we trying to hide without a Raid Finder? Right? I mean, that's all I'm saying. What are we so protective of? 2019, they're kind of necessary. I agree, they're kind of necessary, but I'm not gonna say your game is gonna fail without them. I'm gonna say that you need to acknowledge that that's what people want, and that's how you win your customers. Now, Ashes of Creation is planning on not having looking for group, but there's no fast travel in Ashes of Creation anyway. So you want to do content, you're going to be near the content. It's going to be kind of old school. They kind of want people to develop their core groups. Do I think that's going to work? Yeah, I do. If I didn't think it was going to work, I would outright I'd be outlining a 17-page PowerPoint with facts and figures, and these are all the reasons why. It's not going to work. Yeah, Spice Girls, man, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Fuck yeah, dude, we're old. Fuck, man, there's people in this channel who don't know who the Spice Girls are. There's people who fucking are watching Mel B on America's Got Talent. They have no idea. They have no idea. But, in all seriousness, it's like Pantheon. The developers of Pantheon have outright said, we're not developing the game for PvP. We're developing the game for PvE. So, if you're going to be a huge PvP fan, Pantheon is probably not for you. You probably want to focus on Crowfall or Ashes or Camelot Unchained or Chronicles or, one of the other games that's soon to come out. And then a lot of smaller companies, like the companies that are working with Paradox, Ninja Loot Games doing Defend the Night, Quasar Studios doing Valar, they're listening. Yeah, I know, the NPC just fucking backflip. But these smaller game companies are listening. Chronicles, yes, I'm referring to Chronicles of Illyria. The game that it could be the best game in the free world, and I will never play it. I will never play that game. They could come along and they could give me a free whatever account. They could give me a free kingship, and I still won't play that game. I don't like any developer that talks down to their community. I think if you're at the point where you're calling your community stupid, then balls up, man, and call the community stupid. Just have some balls and be like, look, you guys are stupid. But don't be like, it's right there on the website. I can't believe that you can't figure it out. Oh, what the hell sort of conduct is that? That's not acceptable. So, yeah, I will never play Chronicles. Yes, to be fair, a lot of gaming communities are stupid. A lot of gamers are stupid. In fact, we have a lot of them that come through this channel that are stupid. But the difference is I'm not a game developer. Okay? I don't have to be polite. I don't have to be politically correct. You know. And I'm never gonna be. I'm never gonna be politically correct. If you're stupid, I'm gonna call you stupid. If you can't articulate your argument, I'm going to tell you you're not articulating your argument. Now, we had the one guy come in here, and I'm going to be completely honest. He came in here, and he wanted to talk about military stuff, and I was on an off day, and I was having a soapbox day. He came in, and he brought me this. He came prepared to talk to me. He had a goddamn RAND report. And I read through the fucking thing, and it was full of factual errors, and I'm scratching my fucking head. And I'm like, what in the fuck are they talking about? Then I looked at it, and I was like, holy fuck, this RAND report's from 2005. Well, Jesus Christ, man. If it's a RAND report from 2005, and you're looking at the years that they studied, I'm like, shit, for God's sake, man, you're talking about, you know, completely irrelevant shit, because they've changed it all. But the guy at least came to the channel, and he was ready to debate. He had, you know, he had stuff. What the fuck do people do this shit? Like, that's what impressed me. He was loaded and ready to go. He was loaded and ready to have a conversation. Yeah, things didn't change in 14 years, right? They're shit. Because that's just the way it's always been done around here, War. Not like we ever update field manuals or shit, because I don't know. We don't even use that weapon system. Is occultism now just a side tree? Yeah, occultism is no longer considered a main tree. Occultism is considered a support tree. So, yeah. Because you have 5 main trees now. You have Vitalism, you have Sorcery, Battle Rage, Malediction, and Archery. The other 6 trees are considered Mobility and Utility. And everything but Defense gives you Mobility and Utility. They kind of... What are you doing, dude? They kind of fucked defense because they didn't give defense mobility. But they gave witchcraft mobility. I don't think malediction is a main tree either. I agree with you. However, there are some times where in order to prevent confusion, don't argue with the developers, even though I really want to. There are some times that I just go with what they say, and since they allow you to take malediction at character creation, and they say malediction is a main tree, fuck it, malediction is a main tree, because I don't want to confuse people. But yes, I do agree with you that malediction as a pure main tree probably doesn't exactly work. What tree combos with malediction? Sorcery. Because sorcery and malediction share the exact same damage setup. Just like the melee attacks in Shadowplay and the melee attacks in Battle Rage share melee attack. Yeah, in that, yeah. So you see what I'm saying. See, now I'm gonna be honest. I never understood why they considered Songcraft a main tree back at launch, and then having leveled as a cleric, and all you did was get a staff and Fucking critical Discord spam for days. You just critical Discord spammed for days. Yeah, Songcraft, you literally, you took Songcraft, you took a staff, then you took Vitalism, and then you literally, back in the old days, you literally just held down critical Discord, and that's all you did. You turned your volume off, you put on your YouTube playlist, and you literally just held down, you just held down critical Discord, and it was stupid. It was the dumbest shit ever. Malediction, Sorcery, Defense, Malediction, Sorcery, Oromancy, Malediction, Sorcery, Shadowplay. I mean, you don't have to take Sorcery. You can just run Malediction, say Malediction, Defense, Oromancy. I don't remember Soundcraft as a main tree. It was. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Maybe I'm going crazy. I'm trying to think of the 4 that weren't. Oromancy wasn't. Defense wasn't. Yeah, Vitalism was. Which 4? Defense and Oromancy definitely were. Maybe Soundcraft wasn't. Maybe you had to go Vitalism and then Soundcraft. Maybe you had to pick up Soundcraft at 3 or 5 or whatever it was. 3. Yeah, and broken. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So it was Songcraft, Defense, Oromancy. What was the 4th tree that you couldn't take at creation? Because originally you could take 6. There were 6 of them you could take at creation. So maybe it was you took Vitalism and then you took Songcraft after. We used to get our 2nd tree at 3. Then it was 5. What's it now? 8. God, 5 years ago. Alright, I'm gonna be bad for a second. The 4 you couldn't. Oh, okay. Oromancy, Defense, Witchcraft. Witchcraft was the other one. At launch, you couldn't take Witchcraft as your main tree. It was 5 and 10. Yeah, because what is it now? Like 7 and 15 or some shit? I know the second one's at 15 because I just had this conversation with somebody. Which again, that shit makes no sense to me either. But whatever, it's not a huge deal. Yeah, but not at launch, Warhead. If you remember this bad boy. Remember that bad boy? We going all the way back. Those were the 6 trees you could take at launch. How is Malediction DPS without sorcery? Mana stars and then all the abilities. What was the main tree the archer pickup? Archery, Shadowplay, and then whatever you want. You want Shadowplay because you want you want Stalker's Mark for what it does now. I mean, yes, you can in fact run archery without Shadowplay, but I mean, you can do this. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can. Parking cars for a living. I gotta remember on Friday after my show to take that off, and I bought. Hey, taking my fucking ride. Where you going with my fucking ride? You would probably play. Yeah, I don't know if I would come back. To be honest, I don't know if I would come back because I like crafting. To be honest, I like crafting, and they have completely killed crafting. And there's no point in leveling any profession other than larceny and commerce. I mean, other than larceny and commerce, actually, there is no point because you can complete everything. Yeah, alchemy a little bit. If you have access to an APOC house, especially, but I'm talking like leatherworking, plate, weaponry, gear wise. There's no point because you don't need any proficiency to make Aranors. You need 1,000 credits to make 5 items. It's stupid. The request completion certificate completely takes the massive multiplayer out of the MMORPG. Like, what the fuck do I have? Whatever my weaponry is at, why do I have it? If somebody can just literally throw their shit on the board and then wait whatever 40 hours and come back and for one certificate complete it. Yeah, handicraft got killed because the Noyad accessories are better. The Noyad accessories are way better. Shit, the Noyad accessories are better than fucking Aranor. So that's just silly. That's just ridiculous. You still need handicrafts for the gems unless you do T1s plus. That's true. Again, you don't need handicrafts though, because you just chuck that shit up on the board, and one completion certificate will make as many as you can make for 5,000 labor. One completion certificate will do it. Which the system is stupid. So 200 credits. Oh, we're done. 200 credits. Well, you gotta spend 1,000. Well, actually, didn't I see them? I gotta wait till I get out of here. But I saw them up on the market now individually. So, yeah, I thought I saw them up for 100 credits now. They were oh, is it 100 for 5? I thought they were more before when they first came out. I thought they were 1,000 for 5 when they first came out. I could be wrong. Going a little senile. I also don't keep the massive book of everything anymore for Archeage. What the fuck is this? Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, furniture bonuses and Dawn Drop makes skills irrelevant. Now, yeah, 198. What a crappy team. No shit, right? All right, I gotta page your daughter. If you ever want to have in-house staff, just have kids. But while we're waiting to get out of here, today was great, man. 2-mile walk, 2-mile run, 2.1 mile run. Feeling really good. Feeling good. Just a little dehydrated. It's hot as fuck here today. When I asked how Malediction DPS, how good it was, I mean, it's not going to be as good as Sorcery. But that's because Sorcery is broken. But you can definitely, like I said, you can definitely put a build together. Yeah, exactly. Malediction's ability are more for support utility that do damage, not really for the damage. Exactly. Vitalism was a main tree. Vitalism. Right there. Those were the original 6. I know I am 100% certain Vitalism was a main tree, because that's what I started with. On the alt. I actually went up the painful way. How do I get... How the fuck do I get out of here? Oh, leave team. You left the team. Yes, I did. Snows, where you at? So, would Vitalism Malediction work? No, you don't. Malediction is a main tree. You don't blend main trees except Sorcery and Malediction, because they're both magic attack primary. Everything else requires you to do split. Now, you can do hybrid builds, like you can do Ranger, you can do Paladin, Argent, but you don't ever want to do anything magic attack with anything Vitalism, because then you have to do weapon swaps, and you don't want to do that. Hybrid builds are kind of garbage because of the way stat specialization works. They are. Yeah, Gypsy back in the day. But the reason why a hybrid build works is... Do I have the damn thing with me? Did I chuck it in the chest? Go to the house. See, guys, this is why you have teenagers. You send them a text message and you say, I need a tea, and they appear. Because if they don't appear, you go into Verizon and you turn off their phone. And you're not going to answer them by text messages. What do you need a phone for? Malediction is just a support tree. Again, no. Officially, Malediction is a main tree. However, most people don't run it as one. The class I do back in 2003, it was Demonologist. Yeah, Demo was really, really strong at launch. It's funny now, because people are complaining about Demonologists and how powerful they are and where did they come from, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Speaking of hybrid builds, like you can see, what Warhead's talking about is the way weapon stacking works. Yeah, that's the best way to say it. Officially, it is a main tree. In practice, it is the magic support tree. What Warhead's saying is, you'll see on my Epic Club, I took Spirit, I have critical heal bonus, and I have critical heal rate. So I have taken all healing related stats. On the club on the right, I've taken melee critical damage. Well, I didn't take it. I actually opened it up. I opened it up with melee crit rate and melee crit damage. But what I would do is I would level that and I would put strength on it, and then I would use that for, say, Argent or Paladin. The problem is, I'd probably use that for Argent, to be honest. Thank you. The problem is that you're never going to be as DPS-y as a hybrid build because your weapon is just a little bit less DPS than your DPS counterparts. The advantage you get is that just having 4 Vitalism skills gives you an awful lot of self-sustain. But for sorcery, do you want a staff or is a scepter fine? Well, it always comes down to a question of, do you want big stat or do you want more crit rate and more crit bonus from the gems? So as you can see, my build that I run, one of my 2 sets is Club Offhand Dagger. The reason why I run Club Offhand Dagger is because, as you can see in the offhand, I'm stacking crit heal bonus gems. I have crit heal rate, I have crit heal bonus, and I have 110 spirit. You will never get as much main stat dual wielding as you would from a two-hander, but you will never get as much ancillary stats two-hander. You will always get more from 7 extra gems plus the weapons equips synthesis effects. Let's see, is Blighter Dark Runner still quality? I would assume, yeah. Blighter, Dark Runner, and Blade Dancer for melee. Executioner works okay. Couple of other builds work okay. Paladin works okay. Occultism, Skull Knight, is it? Works okay. But we've moved into tanks. Yeah, you do need more gold for dual wield. That is true. Let me see. I gotta come by and see your beanstalk. Yeah, I'll do that eventually. In my opinion, which is better? I'm gonna here's what I'm gonna say when it comes to what's better. There is no better. The reason why there's no better is because that's an isolated question. And your class and it's always based on your class, your gear, and your build. And then a fellow streamer of mine, Cybot, he did this triangle, but he had skill in it as well. Here's the problem. You can't ask me. Actually, there are no more hidden stats on weapons. Just so you know, those were all taken out. You can't ask me in a vacuum what's better, a staff or dual wield, because are you running staff as a plate mage? Are you running staff as a cloth mage? If you're running staff as a plate mage, then there's going to be things that you can do. If you're running staff as a cloth mage, now you have a giant hole opened up in you when it comes to your defensive ability. Yeah, 4.5-ish, 4.0-ish. I think 4.5-ish is when when they came out. Yeah, the two-hander. Yeah, it might have been all the way back to 4.0. It might have been all the way back to 4.0, and we didn't figure it out till 4.5. Here's the other one. The one really cool feature that I do like that they added in 5.3, I think. All I press is one button, and my left-handed weapon swaps. So as you can see, if I pull this over, what Shoot just said, two-hander can be better once you get your gear high enough. Dual wielding will give you the option of a shield if you need the defense. So if I'm out in the world, right, those are my stats at the moment, and then all of a sudden I get attacked by a melee. I hit Z because that's I bound it, and so suddenly my physical defense goes from 4,000 to almost 9,000. So that is kind of nice. And then once I do that, I can also hot pop the shield to start rolling a 7,000 life regen. So yeah, that is the advantage of dual wielding. Now yes, dual wielding is going to be way more expensive, but if you do T1 plus gems, you're pretty much okay. Pretty much okay. Where the hell am I going? Wow, we had a good conversation today. That's what I love doing Archeage 101. I really do. I love being able to come in, like the first hour of my show, gone like that. For those of you that know, I've been pretty sick lately. And just a lot of times I don't have it in me to roll a show. I'm gonna kill a 4,000 player. That'd be cool. Look at that. Dance, you fat man. When the conversation is good and I don't gotta tax myself to come up with talking points, I love it. Absolutely love it. See, there's the thing. I could kill this guy. I could kill this guy before these guards do anything to me. I could kill this guy before the guards got to me. But I don't want to. Because he's a 4K. He's a 4.7K Evanson. I don't want to kill him. It just ain't right. That's like kicking an old lady down a flight of stairs. That ain't right. Don't do that. No, they have not added any other trees. There are 11 skill trees. You want to come up with malediction stuff without sorcery, but you'd like the critical knowledge to make a decent build. Well, yeah. Telling you right now that you're limited. Because you're limited to one active. You're really limited to one active skill, and the rest you have to build. You have to build malice charges for the rest of these to be useful. Yes, abyssal skills are gone. Every tree lost their abyssal skills. They all went into malediction to form a skill tree, except because they took mana stars away from occultism. They gave. Okay, check this out. And this is another one of those head scratchers where you look at the you look at the situation. And you're like, all right, check this out. You took a skill away from occultism. So you let occultism keep one of its abyssal skills, but not as an abyssal skill. It just gets to use it as a regular good old-fashioned skill. And then you took mass res out, which I'm not saying mass res needed to stay in. I'm not saying that. I am not saying mass res needed to stay in. But you took mass res out of vitalism, and vitalism got nothing in exchange. So I don't understand. I don't understand the balancing that they do here. Like Shoot said, malediction, occultism, witchcraft, helpful yet useless class. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of classes. Like I did before I got sick. I did the video on bards, and I said, if you're just getting into Archeage and you don't have gear and you want to feel useful, play a damn bard. If you want to feel useful. Because if you're a 4K gear score player and you haven't had a chance to get gear yet. Oh. Peace out, gotta go. Sorry about that. That was kind of fun, though. So much for CR. Which is okay. Mage that chases the cloth healer. Yeah, I mean, I remember, I forgot what his name was. I have a video about it. But guy ran his mouth all the time about, you know, being like this uber mage. And I'm like, alright, well, queue for arenas. Queued for arena and he got so pissed because he couldn't kill me. I'm like, are you really thinking that you're going to kill a cloth healer as a mage? I mean, is this really in what you're thinking? He's like, I should be able to kill you. Now, I'm not gonna say he didn't pack a hell of a punch. His goddamn combo was like 150,000 damage. I was just able to mitigate it down, but that hurt. Let's see. Think of trying this game again. Was running a Templar, but no one is playing a Templar anymore. What happened to the class? It's not that nobody's running Templar. Let me do this. Armancy. Defense. It's not that nobody runs Templar. Excuse me. Okay. But as you can see up here, this is my current build. I'm running Doombringer. There's nothing wrong with Templar. There's absolutely nothing wrong with Templar. You can run it. The problem is that you are at the very bottom of the healing, the AoE healing spectrum. You can't do nearly enough AoE healing. The reason why is Pain Harvest and Mend, the Mend spam, right? Absorb Life Force is a ridiculously overpowered heal, AoE heal. Drop back in 3 Mends or drop back in 3 Antithesis. Free Runner and Antithesis for spam. So Vitalism synergizes very well with Occultism, and it synergizes very well with Shadowplay. The reason why I don't see Templar too much is because it doesn't synergize with Vitalism anymore. The Instacast, the days of the Instacast conversion shield are gone because that went to the standard dropback. You don't really need Oromancy because Health Lift is no longer a permanent. Health Lift is no longer a permanent buff. It's a spot heal, but it's not a permanent buff. So generally there's no synergy. Doesn't mean you can't do it. It's just not at the top of the list. Let's see. What do I think about Fanatic Sorcery, Witchcraft, Malediction? Yeah, it's not. Well, yeah. I mean, it gives you the 4,000 life, and when it fades, it doesn't take it away. So, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't argue. I mean, I wouldn't argue with you that it's an extended shield. I mean, I would. Same concept. Temporary amount of hit points. Fanatic, I don't. There's nothing really impressive about Fanatic, other than in arena it's usually Malediction. No. Oh, okay. Yeah. You get percentage back as a heal. What the fuck is Fanatic again? Sorcery, Witchcraft, Malediction is coming up as Blightcaster in the tooltip. But that's Fanatic, isn't it? Is that... I got the tooltip wrong? Oh, shadow play. This person has Fanatic wrong. I mean, reduce Stalker's Mark, taking 15% of your magic damage reduction away. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's sorcery plus malediction, so you're all stacked on one damage type. Not. I mean, I see people do their highlight videos where they wreck other people all the time. Good players are gonna figure it out. I wonder how a Fanatic would do against somebody who was straight stacked against magic damage. But what's up, DeMuffin? So I was a level 50 Templar, finished leveling the Templar skills, or just keep one, such as Vitalism, and start leveling new ones. Yeah, figure out what you want to play. If you're only level 50, you are nowhere near committed to anything. If you want to be a healer, you can. I'm letting you know that a 30% self-healing nerf is coming. Kind of sucks. So you're gonna have to face the fact that in open world, if you get jumped by yourself, you know, you're gonna have a problem. Beyond that, if you're only level 50, you might want to consider, honestly, just chucking in sorcery, battle rage, or archery, and go one of the other damage types. How good is malediction, occultism, shadow play? I mean, it's gonna honestly, it's gonna be as good or as bad as you gear it out. I mean, again, when people say how good is X, okay, you're giving me 1/3 of a triangle to judge. What build are you gonna run? How are you gonna gear it? Are you gonna be a plate mage? Are you gonna be a cloth mage? If you're gonna be a cloth mage, how are you gonna mitigate all the physical damage that's going on? So Archeage has evolved past, this is my class. How good am I? We're not in the era of, I'm a dark runner, I hit F13 and it's my I win button. We're past that era. I've seen like you saw earlier today. I am 12k, but I didn't have my shield in, and an 8.8k was wrecking the shit out of me. Now, I wasn't worried because he didn't have enough punch to go through all the other things I have. But I mean, had I put my shield in, I could have just tanked him and called it a day. But and that leads me back to the I don't get melee and their complaints and their crying about, I can't kill a healer. Well, learn your fucking class, because if you can trip somebody, they don't have avoidance while they're tripped. But so many of these people try to pop out of shadow play, or pop out of stealth with the shadow smite. I should be able to kill you. Well, it doesn't work like that. Trying to figure out what mage spec I should pick for an alt. I'm demonologist, but it's meh. I mean, really, what do you want to do with it? I have mage alts that literally are stacked for crit damage, so I can just, well, when I ran 2 computers, I would go into dungeons and I'd bring the alt with me, and I'd literally, because you can't macro, you don't want to get in trouble for macroing, so I just take a quarter and shove it between the 1 and the 2 key and hold the 2 key down and just spam fireballs. I mean, it works. Not a macro. Alright, let me get to the other part of today's show that I wanted to get to. I mean, ask your questions. I'll do my best to answer them, but you gotta come at me with more than, well, what's this? What about this class? I need to know. Are you gonna go plate? You're gonna go two-hander? You're gonna go shield? I mean, there's lots to it. And the reason why I say that, I want people to know why I won't give a straight answer, is because I don't want somebody to come to me and say, well, you told me malediction, occultism, shadow play was going to be good, and I'm getting my face kicked in all the time, and then be like, oh, well, you're in cloth and you have a two-hander. Well, you don't want to run cloth and a two-hander right now. The world is full of melees. You will die. You will die horribly. You will die very violently. And if you're not running a shield, then archers are going to love you. Archers are absolutely... If you're in cloth and you don't have a shield, archers are going to be like, hi, friend. And archers will tear you apart from range. Because if you don't have enough physical defense, and you don't have vitalism, I mean, that's the other piece of it. I don't want people to think I'm saying archers can kill people in cloth. Archers hate anybody with vitalism, because resurgence plus renewal, and good day. Have a good day. We're done here. And I get it. I totally understand. We say it all the time. The reason why archery in North America and EU isn't as good as it is in Europe, I'm sorry, in Korea, is because in Korea everybody's playing in something that's about the size of Indiana. And in North America, you might be in New York connecting to Texas. Well, there's a huge difference between 10 millisecond ping and 110 millisecond ping. You've seen it. I did the video several times. In Korea, you see the archers, and it's literally like a Gatling gun with their endless arrows. Here it's tick, 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 tick. You literally can get 4 or 5 off a second. Over in Korea, they're getting a whole cycle off, and then some per second. Yeah, in Korea, 10 is high. 10 is high. Farm cart, farm wagon. Scroll, farm wagon. So we need 7 for a hauler. Plus, I've done this a couple of times. Farm hauler. And then a freighter. $7. So that's 14 times 500. 7,000. So, realistically, the title of today's show is all the things you would need to do or redo if you went to a fresh start server. One of the big ones is you'd have to buy back all your stuff. Now, here's the big one why a lot of people wouldn't do it. And then that's 7,000 plus a potential other 2,500 because you might want your red freighter back. I don't know why, but you might. So you're looking at a situation where if Gamigo did in a new server, you would need 14 multi-wagon tickets to get your freighter back. And that'd be 7,000 credits. And you would need 20 expansion scrolls, and that would be 6,000 credits. So you're looking at about 13,000 credits, right? You're looking at about 13,000 credits. Now, I want to get into the store. I'll get there, shoot. I'll get there. So, buy credits. Buy credits. So you would need more, right? Oh no, you wouldn't. That's the total credit with the patron bonus. Well, you would need essentially 11,220. You would essentially need to spend about 11,825. That'd only be 12,000. You need 13,000. So you would have to spend a minimum of $60, probably $70 if you wanted all that stuff right at the beginning. So it's minimum of $60, if not $70 per person. Okay? Per person. Now we start getting into all the other stuff. We get into all the other stuff. Okay? I personally think the idea of, number one, you can't have more than one character on the account. But then they're like, but we can't sell expansion scrolls that way. And they want to do that. See that? Therein lies the problem. Where the hell are they? General. I wish there was a search box that you could see it. So a character expansion slot is going to be 1,045 credits when it's not on sale. Are you gonna put 2 characters on one account, or are you going to make numerous alt accounts to trade the plans? And then you're instantly already talking about we're not even one step into the process and you're already talking about alts. So how do you get around it? Well, you'd have to change the whole game. You're never going to get alts out of Archeage. Let's see. If it's a physical based meta and I still want to be able to do damage, wouldn't going plate with a staff be the best to go with? Yeah. I mean, ultimately, yes. Plate, staff, mage. Unless you run into other mages, you're gonna be fine. I mean, melee are gonna be like pissed because it's another plate, staff, mage rolling around. What I can do is, your best thing to do is roll through. Like not revoke. We're not doing that. Sorcery, shadow play. No. Sorcery, Oromancy, Malediction. There we go. So as you can see, they're running Aranor Scepter, and then Hiram offhand with crit damage. Okay, because they're stacked with crit rate gems in their headpiece, so that makes sense. And then as you can see, they're running the library set, so they have a chance to ignore your target's full magic defense. So this is the kind of mage that sucks as a healer to run into, because and they're running Magic Death Pen as well. Yeah, they're running Magic Death Pen. Yeah. So a little bit. I'm actually surprised by that, but whatever. So yeah, your best thing that you can do is look up people's gear. Oops. Someone found a ghost ship slab and logged out with it. I see your question about healing. I'll get to that in just a second. But what you can do is you can find people that are running a class similar to yours. Oh, this person's using an insanity point with an Aranor Scepter, so they have cast time for days. Yeah. Yeah. Can't see their full gear because they've got that on. And then that 5k free toughness is just broken. So yeah, this person's a tanky fuck because they've got 5k toughness out the box, plus... Yeah, this person... I would love to see how tanky Giovanni is with all that toughness, because that's pretty broken. That's really broken. Let's see. I'm new to Archeage because of your videos. I'm going Doombringer just like you. Aw, just like me. Everybody wants to be like Jay. Any tips for leveling and what gear you should be focusing on climbing the ranks? Yes. As a healer, climbing through the ranks, run plate. Don't run cloth. You don't need cloth. In fact, honestly, you should be running plate as a healer now anyway, because the meta is melee. I'm an old dog. It's hard for me to break my old tricks, so I'm building Hiram Cloth. It's probably a mistake, but with that said, as you level up, take a Great Club, take plate. 90% of the mobs that you're gonna run in, that you're gonna run into, 90% of the mobs you're gonna run into are gonna do physical damage, so they're gonna not really hurt you too much because you're in plate. But you don't. When you get to the point where you can do Hiram gear, I have a healer on my Discord. Her name is Mystic Angel. She runs plate and works really well. Pretty much everyone does run. Pretty much everybody runs plate. The trick to that is the only people you really see in the only people you see in leather traditionally are people who are running Ioned Flame. And now, George doesn't. But the problem is that running leather doesn't allow you to get enough defense to negate somebody who's running max def pen. Therein lies your problem. Because you're a split, you don't have a weakness. But as weird as this sounds, you don't really have a strength. You don't have a strength either. Right, exactly. What Warhead said is, and Warhead, I thought you were gonna start streaming again, but I haven't seen you stream. Because you're a wealth of goddamn knowledge that people need. Damn, busted. Yep, busted him out. If they run max def pen, then they don't have the crit to one-shot people without overwhelm. Here's the thing. I think words matter. I don't think one-shotting. People need to get out of saying one-shotting because you're never really one-shot. I've never had somebody kill me, even standing still, turning my back to them. I've never had anybody kill me in exactly one hit. Now, one combo, sure. Fine, if we want to say one combo, that's fine. But when we start talking about one-shotting people, I don't see that happening. So that's why I'm against the phrase one-shot. Because I've played games where literally the person is one-shot. They are one hit and they're done. So, I mean, the other day somebody wanted to test it and I was like, sure, whatever. I'll turn my back to you, hit me. It took them 5 attacks to kill me. You're not gonna stand there and get your ass handed to you. Now, if you're not a healer, you're probably fucked anyway. Now, if they run max def pen, then they don't have the crit to one-shot you. That is true. But if they're running max def pen and you don't have a good amount of supplemental defense, then it doesn't matter that they're not exactly one-shotting you. They're gonna just chew you up in 4 hits. They're gonna chew you up in 4 hits. What's the best main tree with defense? Again, man, I'm gonna keep driving you to this. I'm gonna keep driving you to this triangle. What do you want to accomplish? Because defense is all about, it's what do you do with it? You can be a stone arrow, you can be a bastion, you can be an abolisher, you can be a Templar. There's generally not mage trees that run with defense, but you certainly can. So again, it's not a singular statement of one tree. Yeah, Blighter. Yeah, exactly. Miguel hit the nail on the head. You can run Blighter with defense, and then you could literally not even use a shield because you could take readout, but ancestral out your readout for the other version. So you're literally you're running a two-hander, but you have defense. Remember when way back, you knew if somebody had the defense tree, and chances were, okay, if they had the defense tree, and chances were they had a shield. Now that's no longer the case. You will oftentimes run into people with a defense tree that don't have a shield in, and then you're like, What is this crap? What? Oh, your bag is full. Failed to obtain the item. Your problem with MMOs is you can play pretty much any role except traditional wizards. Well, that becomes a problem because traditional wizards are like the big damage class. And that's just the way it is. What? Oh. I'm like, what's going on here? And then I realize. All is right in the world. Let's see, does life hate me today? Want to hate me? Just go. Just go. God damn it. Life hates me. I think I'm out. I don't think I have any more at the house. I don't want to spend honor. So, that's going to be that. All those stones are going to go in my chest. Hi, thanks. Thanks for playing. My problem, yeah. Well, if I had any idea what I wanted to go with, I would be more specific. Yep. I feel your pain, man. I really do. I do feel your pain. It does suck. It literally does suck. That's why you gotta figure out. I mean, you gotta figure out what main tree you want to play first, and then really kind of work it. Really kind of work it from the main tree. Because trying to build it around the support tree or the utility tree, the only tree that you can really do that with, that you can really pull it off with, is, okay, I'm gonna be a tank. Well, defense and oromancy. Okay, what do I want? What do I want for my third tree? And honestly, defense, oromancy, occultism works stupid if you stack just defense and mitigation and health. And then all of a sudden your hit point pool is huge. If you are doing Doombringer, you should not be using a staff. You should be using a Great Club. Great Club and Plate. If you use a staff, you're going to find all your heals suck. Because staffs don't have healing power. That will make for a very, very awkward and difficult time leveling. Great clubs and clubs, my friend. You ever wonder why, you ever wonder why people do like connections between two unrelated events and they don't get it? Like I think some people just honestly don't get it. I think some people don't want to get it. Like people connect unrelated things all the time and they're like, well, this because of this. Like, well, stop it. Lay out your argument. Then read your argument to yourself backwards and see if it makes any amount of sense. Like, look for the holes in your own arguments. Trickster back in the day, but that went to shit because of ping. Yeah, I mean, I started off kind of rotating between Outrider, Shade Hunter, and Ebonsong. I never really liked Trickster. And then, of course, for a couple of weeks I ran Stone Arrow because it was at launch, everybody was playing Mage or Archer because Melee sucked. And then all of a sudden you would run into an Archer and you'd pop Readout and that was over pretty quick. that was a very short fight because block versus, you know, big numbers. I don't know, I guess maybe I would have enjoyed Archeage more if I had never switched to healer. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Rank number 1 in Korea is Blighter, Eternal buff. Well, and he swaps for dual wield, two-hander, one-hand weapon plus shield. Yeah, I mean, Blighter is so damn broken because it has huge damage, and it also has huge survivability. Because if you don't swap out that you don't swap out your readout for the physical defense buff, if you keep your readout, I mean, it's not as good anymore because they kind of like really brought it into really kind of in line, but it's this one. Increases block rate by plus 20%. I mean, it's a frustration. What's up, Nicole? Healing not good in this game. Healing was great in the game for a long time, and now with the 30% self-healing nerf coming, I don't know what Excel Games was thinking with that, but I think that's gonna pretty much kill. I think that's pretty much gonna kill the game. Wow, man! I switch. I get. Oh, look at that. 6 whole frames per second improvement. I just don't want to crash because I don't want to have to go through the process of loading. Is Vitalism mains forced to heal stat sleeves, or can they DPS? Yeah, you have Holy Bolt and Antithesis, and you have Flame Skewer, so you don't. Vitalism users no longer are forced to be you know, pocket healers. You can go, yeah, yay, best game. But usually when I go out soloing on my Monday show and my Friday show, when I don't get a chance to do the raid content, or all the dailies as a raid, I can clear all of the dailies except Reedwind in less than 30 minutes, solo as a healer. So if no one needs healing, deal a bit of damage. Yeah, it helps. Yeah, I mean, truthfully, I will say that the way they designed the Noyette challenge, you don't even need a healer. You need a bard. You do need a bard. You don't need a healer. What I get? Oh, yeah, I get to do more damage to sports fish while I'm not sports fishing. And as you can see, I forgot to take down the Christmas decorations, and it's already April, or it's already May, so fuck it. They can stay up. But yeah, if you want to be a healer, you can be a healer. I can't tell you to go be a healer, because that 30% self-heal nerf is like literally one of the dumbest things I've ever heard of. I do not understand how you can just apply. How you can just apply a 30% heal nerf or self-heal nerf, just ridiculous. Just absolutely ridiculous. So oof, DPS Vitalism Dreams then. Well, Vitalism DPS is still gonna work. It's just self-heals. It's just self-heals isn't gonna work. So by the way, I found out something absolutely horrible, and always know the technology that you're buying. I could no longer stand the headset anymore because I had to get glasses, and I can't handle the concept of heavy glasses from having heavier glasses for a few years in the military and then not needing them. I do not like heavy glasses, so I have drill mounted frames. Speaking of which, hold on one second. But I was constantly getting the pain in the sides of my head from having my headset on all day. So I bought the Bose wearable speakers and really love them. Really, really, really love them. The problem is, they, and I haven't been able to figure out. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm trying to tweak them so that they don't, you know, shut down. I got to find out where the setting is. There's obviously a setting somewhere that says, "Oh, hey, you haven't. Did you leave me on by mistake?" And obviously, I want to turn that shit off because no, I didn't leave you on by mistake. I left you on for hours and hours and hours on purpose. But if I'm in Final Fantasy and my headset goes to sleep, it crashes me because the sound driver doesn't. Final Fantasy loses contact with the sound driver and it says, "Oh, something's wrong." I also found out that I may have a problem with it with any game that runs easy anti-cheat. It doesn't necessarily like Bluetooth headsets. But for right now, I'm going to tell you guys, I took that crap off my page because I didn't like the way that it came across. I wasn't ever trying to sell anything at Amazon, but the only way to have your Amazon affiliate panel for the shit that you own is to have it as if you're trying to sell it. And I don't want to sell you guys. I'm not here to sell you guys fucking computer hardware and shit. But absolutely, if you don't like headphones, absolutely would recommend the Bose wearable speaker collar. First couple of days is going to be a little painful. It's not heavy. It's just you're not used to having weight on your neck. But, you know, if you're a glasses wearer and, you know, you've got the pain going on, I definitely recommend them. Definitely recommend them. Now, like I said, Final Fantasy, it kind of sucks, because if you have a disconnect, then you crash. Do you think North American version will go to T4 Hiram Eternal like they have in Korea? They don't have T4 Eternal. They have T4 Mythic. Eternal got nixed for the time being because the Aranor players were upset that the Hiram players would be able to go to Eternal before they had a chance to get their awoken Aranors to Eternal. So they dialed the T4 down to Mythic. They have Eternal Hiram? Well, then, alright. Fuck, the patch notes I have say it's not coming. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Congrats. Why are you asking me a question then? If Korea has it, then we're gonna get it. So, congrats. You already know something and you're asking me a question. I don't know what to do with that. If Korea has it, we'll eventually get it. Full max epic to mythic is like 6.8 million XP for 7 armor pieces plus main hand offhand instrument. Yeah. Main hand mythic eternal is like 2.7 million on its own. Yeah, that's, I mean, some people were doing the math and I told them to not get so upset about the math because yeah, player nations are gone in Korea. We knew that was coming. The castle system rework is somewhere in development. But people were like, well, it's gonna take forever to get my weapon up to Eternal. Like, yeah, but we also have you also have Eastern Hiram Mountain dailies coming. So, I mean, it's still, there's no doubt. I mean, Warhead's exactly right. It's going to be absurdly expensive in terms of both XP and gold. I mean, XP and gold is going to be ridiculous. I mean, that's another reason why I'm enjoying the game I'm in now. Like I said, I come here to hang out with you guys, answer your questions, and tonight's one of those nights that I'm going to be like, cool. I answered a lot of questions tonight, so that makes me That makes me happy. Oh, I guess nobody's turning around. I guess we run our asses off. But I love when new players come in and ask questions and get the answers they need so that they can go and be happy and play the game. That's why I started doing this. I can say I saw him go 25 days from 3k gear score to 12k gears. Yeah, but okay, first of all, he's not the average player. He's been playing this game for damn near ever. So he knows, I mean, he knows what the hell he's doing. Secondly, when he plays, I mean, you gotta remember, he makes his streaming living off of playing Archeage and then quitting. So he knows I mean, plus getting to 12k is not hard with Hiram gear, especially if they have T4. I mean, that's not the hard part. Let me know what the rest of his stats are. Let me know what his let me know what his gems are at. Let me know everything else. So, I mean, but yeah, like I said, he's a very good Archeage player. 11.6 with 2 divine weapons still. And half T2 gems. Yeah, so... Okay, 230% crit damage and 5k def pen. Take 140 off of that. Take that down to 110 and 5k def pen. Yeah. Would Assassin work as a DPS Vitalism class? Yeah, Assassin works really well. I ran it a long time ago. Apparently what I'm hearing is T4 is what they have now. So apparently they have T4. So but yeah, Assassin works fine. I mean, Assassin is a bit strange. So but no, I liked Assassin when I played it. Wow, that sucked. How does the underwear and costumes work? How would I go about getting them? I just talked about that, actually. Archeage... No. I thought about buying Archeage 101 as a domain name, but I didn't. I only have Ashes 101. That's not what I want either. It'd be a hell of a lot easier if I, you know, had a web... actually started doing web page development. Let me grab... Gonna throw something at the person in the room with me. Just click, 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 tapping while I'm streaming. That is gear, and it will tell you about all your gear, and it will tell you about costumes and undergarments. I have a small section on costumes and undergarments. I'm gonna be honest, completely honest, when it comes to Archeage. I was having a lot of fun with Archeage, was making a lot of progress with Archeage, and then what happened was I was in talks with Gamigo to become an official content creator for them again, and we were done. We popped the cork on the champagne, and was flowing from the ceiling, and then there was one small, tiny thing that we couldn't resolve, and it was kind of like, well, okay then. I guess we can't resolve it. But coupled with that, and coupled with Ashes of Creation suddenly vomiting out like 50 pounds of news, and I am an official content creator over at Ashes of Creation. So the way, in my mind, I mean, not everybody believes the same thing, but in my mind, if I'm an official content creator for one game, there we go, dance you fat man. If I'm an official content creator for one game, and I'm not for another game, then the game I am an official content creator for should get the majority of my content creation time. And then any spare content creator time I have would go to the other game. Well, I've produced a fuck ton of Ashes of Creation videos lately. So I think I've produced 10 in a record amount of time. I put out 4 literally in the span of 8 days, 5 in the span of 10 days. So I've done basically an Ashes video every other day. Don't know who's leading your last Halsey, but 6 of us scared away 25 people from diving into our base. Yeah, I was standing up on the mountain and I'm like waiting, and nobody went. Nobody went. You would run Great Club on an Assassin? I would. If I was gonna play an Assassin, I would run a Great Club. But, so, coupled with the fact that the official CC deal didn't work out with Gamigo, plus the nerf to my class coming, you know, and they didn't create a way to say, all right guys, we're fucking over your class, and so you can go to this vendor box and you can, you know, reroll. Now I know some people would be pissed. They're like, well, they didn't do that with archers. I know, but they've never shoved a red hot poker up anybody's ass before with how they are changing the class. So like nobody else has just been straight 30% nerf. With that said, I don't really want to go through the process of re-rolling my costume, my undergarments, my cloak. I mean, I have a strength mitigation already done, but I don't want to do all the other bits and pieces. That should take me forever. I don't want to do that. So Archeage gets my streaming time right now, and Ashes gets my video making time. What news did Ashes release? Oh, just bits and pieces, stuff on nodes, stuff on Metropolis. Steven did 4 interviews in 8 days. So just shit like that I cover. So I mean, yeah, if Gamigo had signed on the dotted line, I would have been all good with it, man. I would have been cool with it. I would have been making Archeage content all the time. I mean, I already was making Archeage content all the time. I would have just kept doing it. But with that said, I'm not gonna make content for a game that I'm not gonna make content for a game that is killing my class. I just don't. I don't think. All right. But what class am I? I'm a Doombringer. So Yep, I traditionally run Doombringer. Which one thing I think is unfair is that I can't antithesis the relic, which I don't understand, but whatever. Melee. Which class are they nerfing? No, healers. For some odd reason, they need to nerf healers. But that's just how it is. We're gonna nerf we're gonna nerf healers because healers apparently are too strong. So we're going to make it so that they heal. And like I said, I don't care if they nerf healing by 30%. Do I agree that healing might be a little bit OP? Sure, I agree healing might be a little bit OP. But what I don't agree with, okay? What I don't agree with is you're going to nerf my self-healing. And that's that's a deal breaker for me. You're basically gonna say we're putting healers into the category of other people's bitches. Like I said, if you want to nerf all healing by 30% because it's too strong, I'm cool with that. And when people are like, well, why would you be cool with that? Well, because it doesn't make it allows you to see all of the problems. It allows you to see all of the problems at one time. Self-healing is being nerfed because healers are unkillable if they build conversion. No, that is incorrect. Self-healing is being nerfed because they created a system where you can completely stack defensive skills as a healer, sacrifice nothing, because you don't need gear to benefit your healing capacity. If nobody thought, again, I show this all the time, class, gear, and build. If nobody thought that not driving people to cloth, like you make it so cloth has no tangible benefit for healers, then why would they run it? And I say this I've shown this a couple of times. This is the benefit for cloth: move speed, casting delay, and a decrease of duration of all debuffs by 20%. This is not so important that you can't sacrifice your complete cloth set for your complete plate set. And that's the problem. When you have... See, healing's not the problem. And that's what people... I'm all for normalization. But when you have... That's not the right one. When you have a skill that reduces magic damage, right? And you allow me to stack plate, and on every single... Well, on 5 of the 7 pieces of plate, you allow me to take magic damage reduction. Then the only magic classes that have a chance against me are ones that run shadow play. And that is a broken system. That is an absolutely broken system that is flatly wrong. It shouldn't work like that. You created a system that absolutely punishes every class that's not healer. Well, and tank. Aren't they nerfing plate as well? Yeah, but what I imagine they're going to do with plate is simply the 16% change out that should have happened a long time ago. So, where you have 1604 on the plate, you have 1802 magic and defense, and then you have 1337 and 267 and just for the doubters at home. 287 or 267 plus 1337 is 1604. That's 1604. That's 1604. What I imagine is going to happen is that this is going to be 267 defense, 1337 magic defense. This is going to become 1337 defense with 267 magic defense. So it's not going to fix the problem. They're nerfing the stats that you can get that lessen plate's disadvantages. But if they don't do the same thing to cloth, then all you're going to do is have a different problem, because you're not going to fix the problem altogether. Because you can do almost the exact same build. You can do almost the exact same build in cloth. The only difference is that when you do plate damage, plate negates 2 trees. Cloth only negates 1. So whereas I can do received magic damage as a synthesis effect, I can't do received magic damage and received ranged damage at the same time. Now, we've talked about this a bunch of times on the show. XL Games has never been very good at getting the balance right. The nerf should be for all Hiram types. But again, it doesn't matter because you've got 2 types of damage negated by 1 armor type. It's not like you have ranged damage and melee damage. You have physical damage and you have magic damage. That's the problem. That's why all the healers can stack plate. That's why all the tanks can stack plate and then fill in their magic hole. The problem is that the proposal that I've heard, that they're going to plug that damage by reducing the overall defense by 14% and applying that to magic defense, that's not going to fix the problem. You need magic defense to defend that healing DPS. Yeah, well, the problem is that that doesn't work. That because of the now 30% effectiveness of Holy Bolt. I mean, you literally have one spammable spell, and if you're busy spamming Holy Bolt, the person's busy kicking your face in. It's a stupidly broken system, and it hasn't ever been fixed. And it hasn't ever been fixed because they always cater to the melee. They have always catered to the melee, and they'll always continue to cater to the melee. Healing damage doesn't really exist. Healing damage does exist. Healing damage does exist, but you have to be hella fucking geared for it to work. And you have to be fighting somebody. Like, I'm not gonna beat a geared, I'm not gonna be able to beat a really geared mage, or I'm sorry, a really geared melee who really knows his class. Therein lies the problem. Is conversion healing actually going to get nerfed? Conversion healing's all... See, again, people don't understand. They don't even know what the problem is. They just bitch about healers. Healers with the Gale Necklace are stupidly tanky, but they're nowhere near as tanky as they were in the past. Because you've already nerfed the shit out of that particular build. Now again, the Unkillable Cleric, should that build have ever existed? No. But you've already addressed it. You've already addressed it because, number one, you flipped this to 9 out of 29 seconds. So this was a huge one. Number two, Ode to Recovery doesn't stack that way anymore. It doesn't stack received healing. You can't throw down your own healing circle. So they've already nerfed the shit out of healing. A lot of people just suck and they want to complain. They're the vocal minority. I guarantee you, when they kill off when they do the 30% self-healing nerf, and you start to see a handful of healers leave, people are going to start to bitch because there's not going to be enough healers. There's just not gonna be enough. Look at this motherfucker. Mythic plate armor. Yeah, he's got the full plate set. So, you're telling me that the cloth buff that you give me, full plate armor increases physical defense plus 3%, max health 5%. Okay. Yeah, healers are very killable. I nearly got killed tonight by a guy with an 8.8k gear score because he knew what the hell he was doing, and he knew when to hit, he knew to trip, he knew what to do. The thing is he didn't have enough punch to punch through me. Now, had I thrown my shield on, it would have been a different story, but I was busy bullshitting with you guys. Are there good translated patch notes for Korea that are up to date? No, you have to go to the Korea site, you have to Google translate them, and you have to know all of the Korean phrases for stuff. How would you change this tree for the better as DPS Vitalism? I would take Stalker's Mark. No, actually, no, I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that one's fine. And you want stealth, obviously, so you're 5 in there. Oh, get rid of Aranzeb's Boon and take Fervent Healing. Aranzeb's Boon is 30 stat anymore. So yeah, get rid of Aranzeb's Boon out of that build that you linked and take Fervent Healing. I mean, Fervent Healing is your bread and butter for self survivability. So yeah, other than that, I mean, play around with it. Mark from Omnom seems to have retired. Mark from Omnom probably got tired of the shit that people gave him. Truthfully, dude did a service for free. I mean, guy had a bit of an attitude sometimes. He's like fucking yelling at me. You didn't cite me. Hey, bitch, I sent you a fucking message. Maybe if you fucking would respond to the message I sent you, and calm your shit down. But, I mean, dude's providing a free service. He's providing a mostly free service. He's got ads on his website, but okay. He's a content creator who doesn't stream often, doesn't make videos. Dude wants to make money. Oh my god, dude wants to get paid for his work. Holy fuck, he's a horrible person, right? But, guy's got ads up on his website. That's really the only income. You don't have to buy a subscription to Omnom. Guy's out there, he's translating all this shit. And let me tell you, having worked with the Korean Air Force when I was in the military and trying to translate shit for them, and then B, trying to translate Archeage shit, is like 2 languages. Because number 1, you have to translate Korean Archeage to American Archeage, and then you have to translate the Hangul to English. And that doesn't always work. But with that said, he probably got tired of people fucking giving him shit for getting stuff wrong. And then you're like, okay, well, I got it wrong. Let me see your translation. And then they don't have one. Well, if you're not willing to step up to the plate and do the damn translation, then honestly, shut your pie hole. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Dude's giving you a sneak peek of the crib sheet of Korean patch notes, which may not even come to North American EU without alteration. And then people are going to just rag on him and, like, say his work is shit. Yeah, he gets shit wrong. Guess what? It was right when he translated it. The words in Korea get bizarre as fuck because health and mana are the same thing in Hangul. It's the same word. So sometimes, yeah, you get it wrong. Shit happens. Is better watch some Korean player and ask him the patch notes. If you want to. But then again, like I just said, you're assuming, like I've seen people make, yeah, exactly. I've seen people make decisions based on the Korean build or the Korean patch notes. They make decisions and then all of a sudden they find out that we're not getting exactly the same thing. Like an event that happens in Korea doesn't happen in North America. Like I remember when people said all the time, they were like, oh, well, we're going to be getting free legendaries if we run Mist Song like 10 times. And I'm like, we're not getting that event. And they're like, yeah, we will because Korea got it. I'm like, we're not getting that event. Yeah, the Eternal T4 thing, here's the thing. The Korean patch notes for the Korean build said they weren't getting Eternal T4. So Korea wasn't even supposed to get it. So that changed in Korea before we even got it. That's why everyone you ask is going to say there's no Eternal T4, because there's literally a note from their team that says, we've decided not to do Eternal T4. Alright, cool. Now apparently they decided to do it in Korea. Will we get it? If Korea got it, then we'll probably get it. That's not one of the features that would get... that's not really one of the features that we wouldn't get. With that said, the free legendary for Miss Song, I told people, I was like, guys, you're not gonna get that. We're not gonna get that. That's a internet cafe deal that they have going on. It's a two-parter. You have to play X number of hours in internet cafes and do X number of Miss Songs. Because remember, internet cafes over there are a big deal. A lot of game companies give bonuses if you play. Sweetheart, you here somewhere? I got him. I got him. I got the white one. Aha. You were caught. You were caught. This one doesn't usually come over for the show, but I got him. Usually sleeping during the day. You good? You say hi to the people? No. No hello? You want to say hello? You're usually talkative. You want to say hello? No? So, I'm actually really... He's not gonna roar. So I showed you guys this on Monday, and I told this story. I'll tell it again. So those of you that were here on Monday, it's kind of like deja vu. Friday after my show, went to dinner with the family, which sucks because I can't have fried chicken. No more fried chicken Fridays. My cholesterol was fucking tilt, and so no fried chicken, no fried foods, no French fries. No French fries. But Tamir and I came home and we built a shelf. And that is, you know, identical to hers on the other side of the room. So we've got these steampunk shelves up. But like I tell people, if you ever wanna test your marriage, build furniture together. When we built the one on Tamir's side of the room, we fucked up and I put it too close to the wall. And I had fucking notes. I had fucking notes, like shit not to fuck up. There were two things I needed to not fuck up hanging this new shelf. I fucked them both up. So you guys, if you're ever in a relationship, people tell you all the time, like, go to, you know, premarital counseling with the priest or all this other shit. No, man. You wanna know if you and your future spouse are compatible? Build some fucking steampunk furniture together and see how that works. That'll let you know. That'll let you know right off the bat. But I've actually been really proud of the fur balls because I tried to put enough stuff where they see it and they're like, I'm not gonna jump on Dad's shelf. That's not gonna happen. But the fur balls are always trying to jump on hers, but hers is right off her desk. So I'm actually really proud of the 4 fur balls. They have stayed off of my stuff, but now I have this. Well, Mr. J's back. And that makes me happy because I'm gonna tell you, late at night when he was on this wall over here, that since I was sitting this way, I'm tweaking the shit out of my side of my vision. But now that he's behind me, he can creep all you out. And my wife found the artist. My wife found the artist, so I'm probably gonna commission him to do a custom piece, and I'll put the custom piece behind me. But now I don't know what to do because I have this table right here that I used to have the shit all piled on, but it's up there now. Except my snow globe. I didn't put my snow globe up there. Let me actually. I have a really. I am a huge Sorcerer Mickey fan. I'm a huge Fantasia fan. So much so that back of my jerseys and stuff say apprentice. I actually had to get special permission for that word, but I am huge on collectibles, and absolutely huge on collectibles. And I wanted to put this up, but I don't trust the animals. I don't trust them. But absolutely huge Apprentice Mickey fan. I got a huge giant Apprentice Mickey up there. But that's one of the reasons why I can't wait to move. Because when I finally move, I want to get a snow globe cabinet. But you all know this if you're cat fans, and if you're hanging on my show, you're probably a cat fan. Cats will stare you right in the face and knock your shit off the ledge. No fucks given. They don't care. I was gonna put my snow globe up, but then I could just imagine coming home and my snow globe being broken, and it would literally become a question of which one of you fuckheads is wet. Okay, your paws are dry. You're safe. You're safe. You're not dying. What's up, Sonic? It's Rest Cat. As far as the 45 thing, now that we get back here, I think to go to Ancestral level 55, one guy in Korea is level 45. Well, that was the thing. The point of making, first of all the levels in Korea have always had more XP on them than ours. I mean, I remember when some people from Korea came at launch and they saw our level 55. They were like, your level 55, 1 to 55 for you guys is less than our 54 to 55. Like, we did all 55 levels for less XP than they did 54 to 55. I mean, theirs was in the hundreds of millions for 50 to 55. But remember, supposedly, they like the grind. Supposedly, they like grindy games. Now, I can't stand grindy games. If it feels like a grind, I hate it. But I'm okay with leveling. Yeah, and people complain that ours took long. And then here's the even worse part. People complain that ours took too long. After ours was reduced. Ours was reduced. Like, I played, and I'm sure Warhead, a couple other people that were here at launch, they played the original 0 to 50, or 1 to 55. And then other people, they joined a couple of months later, and their 50 to 55 was reduced from what ours was. And they were like, this sucks, and you're just like, shut the fuck up. You're gonna tell me yours sucks? No, I don't want to hear it. Ours was horrible. I was part of the OG group that required, 34 million XP to go from 54 to 55. It was like, I'm just gonna, like, remember in the library, I'm sure Warhead, I'm sure Warhead is one of those people that was like, remember you were in the library and you were like, fucking running out of the room spamming pots because you didn't want to die? You're like, oh, fuck this. I ain't dying today. Like, nope. I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. When I did library dailies, I ran defense and vitalism. Shit. Invincibility. Hopefully I catch a couple of seconds owed to recovery. That sucked. That sucked. That absolutely sucked. But I just watched your costume underwear video and had a question when it washed at the end of 30 days just to reset the timer. Yeah. So like you see on mine at the bottom, I have available for 3 more days. In 3 days, 13 hours and 27 minutes, it'll be expired. I'll no longer get those stats. What I'll have to do is I'll have to wash it with soap. It's 120 gold per soap, so you need 240 gold a month to maintain them. And then after that, you're good to go. Anyway, guys, it was a really great show tonight. Like I said, I've been pretty sick. I'm on some medication that's like really just tearing the shit out of me, and I got bits and pieces I got to do. So I'm gonna bounce out here because I'm starting to get nauseous, and we don't need that. We don't need that going on. I'll see you guys Friday afternoon for Ash's the Friday lecture series, and I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we're definitely going to talk about that Gamigo would make 13,000 credits per person. The thing about fresh start servers, if Gamigo fixes one problem, there's 3 more problems and something else. Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, Tony, sorry I'm bouncing right when you get here, but yeah, been pretty sick, and I don't want to push it until after Friday's round of medication, and then I get really sick, and then hopefully next week I'll be better. You guys take care, and I'll see you on Friday.